with the NDP, quality, affordable, $15 a day childcare is one election away.
Playing politics with parenting, I'm Lilley with TheRebel.media. It seems that progressives will never get the idea that not everyone wants to put their kids in universal, institutionalized childcare. But that's the NDP promise there, isn't it? Put everyone into the same system just like they do in Quebec and make everyone live by the same method. It's very progressive, isn't it? But that's not what Canadians want, because they've rejected it time and again in provincial and federal elections outside of Quebec. This has been on offer and they've said no. But this week we had a report from the Parliamentary Budget Office that looked at the issue of government spending at the federal level on childcare. And their claim is that we're going to be spending 120% of what Canadians spend on childcare by increasing the universal childcare benefit. How's that? Because they only benchmark it against one thing, and that is against putting your kids in a government-run style daycare center. That's it. That's all. To me, that sounds like a biased report. That's something I put to the Parliamentary Budget Office, and they said, no, not really.
Well, I don't know what other benchmark you can use. In fact, as I said, the intention of the policy is for childcare expenses. But the way that it has been distributed is not the direct subsidy for childcare. It is giving money to families however they want to use it for childcare. So that's the only benchmark we have. I don't know whether it's unfair or fair. That's not an issue. It's just what it is.
Except they don't actually look at expenses that other parents have. And the fact is, whether you put your kid in a daycare center, which is a fine choice for some families to make, but it's not for all families, whether you put your kid in a center or you look after them at home, you've got expenses. That's something that Employment Minister Pierre Poilievre understands.
This is, of course, a terrible insult to literally millions of parents who rely on a stay-at-home parent, a family member, or a neighbor to provide their childcare. Of course, these families have expenses, and that's exactly why the Prime Minister's increased universal childcare benefit puts money directly in their pocket. But this is the typical elite snobbery that we expect from the opposition. They don't believe parents can be trusted to make their own decisions or to spend their own money.
So why don't the NDP get it? Why do they continue to harp on this?
The Parliamentary Budget Office has revealed devastating details about the Conservatives' bogus childcare policy. Under the Prime Minister's scheme, families with older kids or kids who aren't even in childcare actually get more benefits than families with kids who are in childcare.
I think the answer is clear. One, they believe in more government for the sake of more government. Two, they really think of money going to parents as kind of the beer and popcorn moment. You remember that from 2006 when the Conservatives first proposed this idea that parents would get $100 for each kid under 6 instead of starting a national daycare program? The Liberals dismissed it as giving parents money that they could spend on beer and popcorn. The fact is, New Democrats and Liberals don't trust Canadians to spend their money on things that matter. That's why the government needs to do it for you. I think Canadians know better. I think the Conservatives realize that. Whether you agree with the program or think that it's gotten too big, you think that it's getting out of control. The fact is, more money in the hands of Canadian taxpayers is better than more money in the hands of government. That's something to remember this October when the election rolls around.